Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Another first of Sunday of the month, so it's time for another Sunday Spotlight. And what I thought I would talk about today, well, you've already seen it in the description for the video, haven't you? And where this stems from is last week I made a video using Pisgah, and Pisgah contains bear tallow. And a viewer called Paul Walker, he left a comment, and his comment was animal tallow / dead animal fat, yuck. Now I replied each to their own and left it at that. I think it was early in the morning, I was tired, I was in the middle of something. But when I read that back, each to their own, it seemed a little terse, so I just want to apologise to Paul and let him know it wasn't intended that way. But it, you know. And then Paul replied, he was very gracious, he went, agreed. I just find it hard to justify cruelty to animals where there are very good and sometimes better alternatives out there. And it's a very good point, and it really did get me thinking. I've been thinking about it the whole week. I answered Paul the best I could in the comments, a small answer, because I always answer comments because I just find it very rude not to. But anyway, I answered him there. And what I'll do is I'll link the Pisgah video under this, so you can go, click on it, read the comments and see what he said and see what I said. But it just got me thinking, because I've had other comments about using animal products in wet shaving, and the comment section, I find that the written word doesn't convey power, pitch, pace, tone, and I'm not a great one for the written word. Let's just put it that way. I find it much more easy to convey what I'm thinking via verbal means, and that's why I thought I would make this video today to explain my stance on animal products, animal cruelty, as Paul put in his comment, and the use of animal products in wet shaving, and the ethics involved in that. Now, all I'm going to say is whenever I make comments like this in my private life to people, and I have quite a lot of them, not on this subject, on various other subjects, but I always say I only have a claim to speak for me. And these thoughts, and this isn't set in stone. What I'm going to say now isn't cast iron. Do you know what I mean? I think I would like to think I'm humble enough that in the face of evidence and education, I'm humble enough to change my mind. So although what I'm going to tell you is pretty much what I believe, pretty much how I feel about it. Do you know what I mean? I am open to change. Now, feel free to comment. I will always answer your comments, but I don't want to get into big, long, drawn out conversations via the comments about this, that and the other. Just please let me know how you feel about it. Let me know if you're okay. Let me know about any of the issues raised and anything I talk about in this video, and I will always get back to you via the comments. So that's it really. So without further ado, we'll crack on this subject. Okay, animal tallow, dead animal fat. Okay, first off, my stance on the use of animal tallow in shaving soaps. I have no problem with it whatsoever at all. As a matter of fact, one of my favourite soaps, here, can you see it there? Sterling's Island Man. Absolutely beautiful. Look at that. I'm a bit disorientated because I've got my phone the other way around from when I have it in the bathroom, and although it's auto-corrected, I'm used to looking at the camera over here, and now the camera's over there, so please forgive me. But yes, if you have a look, they're just above my finger. I hope my camera will do it justice. See that? Beef tallow. And the Pisgah had bear tallow, and I was quite excited about the bear tallow. Now, you may call me a hypocrite, and you're free to do so, please keep your comments polite and respectful. But I am completely and 100% against cruelty to animals. And from what I know about the good folks at Sterling, they are too. Now, I don't think the beef tallow that went in there, I don't think the cow, was killed for no other reason than Sterling could have beef tallow. I think it was probably killed in a slaughterhouse for food, and I am a meat eater, right? So I have no problem with that either. I do have a problem with how the animals are kept if it's cruel. I don't abide by cruelty. But anyway, the killing of animals for food per se, I have no problem with. But the animals should be kept and treated right before slaughtering. And I think the tallow that comes off them, part of the tallow that comes off them, is then can't go in the food industry or is sold, and people buy it and put it in soaps. I have no problem with that. I have no problem whatsoever at all. And I use Sterling as an example. These are good, honest, decent, ethical people. So please do not misunderstand what I'm going to say as referring to them. It doesn't. This soap is just an example. And I say that because if I found out that animals were being slaughtered for no other reason than the tallow could go in shaving soap, I would not buy that shaving soap. If I found out that animals were being kept in inhumane and cruel conditions prior to slaughter for food, and the tallow was used by a soap manufacturer, I wouldn't buy that soap. I wouldn't. I have ethics and I have standards. Now, you could sit there and say, well, you need to educate yourself and this, that, and there just aren't the hours in the day to look into every single minutiae and every single process of every single soap. So you have to take people at their what's the word I'm looking for? At their humanity, if you like. You have to trust that that soap makers aren't fully well aware that animals are being kept in inhumane conditions and being tortured and being slaughtered so that they can get cheap tallow. I just don't think it happens, guys. I mean, maybe it does, but I don't think it happens en masse. I think for the most part the people that make soaps are good, honest, decent people. So that's where I stand on animal product. That's the soap. Now we'll go on to something else. I got a bit of stick, and I'll be honest with you, I wrestled myself before I bought this, and there it is. This is my Yaki 24mm at the bottom there, high mountain badger. Now badgers, I don't know a great deal about them from my limited knowledge. Badgers breed quite rapidly and have to be culled. Now, I have no problem with people farming badgers. I don't know if that's even a thing. But if people want to raise badgers and keep them and then kill them, for these, I do kind of have a problem with that. If they're kept for no other purpose and then slaughtered just for this, I kind of have a problem with that. But for the most part, from my limited knowledge, and I do understand I may be ignorant, for the most part my understanding is that badgers, and I have spoke to farmers in the UK, badgers are a pest in the truest sense of the word. They are vermin and carry disease and are naturally culled when left in the wild. They have to be culled to keep the balance of nature and so on, just like deer are naturally culled up in Scotland, you know. So if badger are naturally culled as part of the process of life and death and cleaning the forest and keeping the balance and nature and all the rest of it, then I have no problem with using a badger brush. So I hope you can understand where I'm coming from. But I have to be honest with you. I bought a badger brush. I don't think I would buy another. I think I've got 3 badger brushes. I don't think I would buy another one. This is an exceptional brush. Absolutely love it. The other 2, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. And then on top of that, the synthetic brushes that you get today are just vastly superior to anything badger I have ever used. They are superb, and so I'm a synthetic man. But like I said, if I found out there was a farm somewhere raising badgers and keeping them cruel and in inhumane conditions for no other reason, to slaughter them when they were a year old, all to make brushes, I wouldn't buy those brushes. I wouldn't buy those brushes. But I can also understand for some people, even the use of badger from badgers that have been culled. I can understand how they would have a problem with that. But I think there's space for all opinions, isn't there? Like I said in my comment, Paul, each to their own. That's kind of what I'm trying to get at here. So that I hope that explains where I stand on the tallows and the badger hairs and the animals. So what do we do? Well, look at this, my favourite brush. PAA. I meant to bring a PAA soap in. I've got one. I'll show it you in a minute. But look at this. Wickham Soap Company. Now, somebody sent me a load of Wickham soaps, and these are vegan and vegetal and 100% vegan. I think from my limited knowledge, these are ultra vegan. I mean, this really ethical stuff here, and there is nothing untoward in this. They're even kind to the plants that were used in. You know, I'm not being flip. I'm trying to be genuine. This is good, and this will make as good a lather as any tallow-based soap you will ever have. So then, once more, you get in slightly touch into the argument: tallow versus vegetal, or vegetable, whatever you want to call it. Tallow versus non-tallow. It was something I never really considered until here we go. PAA. The PAA's cocoa and butter formula and CK6 formula, for me personally, anyone that watches my videos knows, I just think they are in a league of their own. Absolute reams above anything else I've ever used. And I love PAA formula CK6. Absolutely wonderful. So when I found out that there was no beef tallow or animal tallow of any description in PAA, I'm happy with that. I'll be honest with you, if you may find this hard to understand, you may not, I don't know. If all shaving soaps were non-tallow, I would be quite happy with that. I would probably rather use non-tallow, but I don't mind using tallow, and it really doesn't bother me that other people do use it as well. So that's it, guys. Paul, thank you for your question, Paul, that you gave me, because I was wondering what to do for this spotlight. And there it is. You may have disagreements, you may not have disagreements, you as well, Paul, as well as I'm speaking generally now. People may have disagreements, you may agree with what I've said, you may not, you may understand what I've said, you may not. But just a very, very brief recap is I don't hold with any form of animal cruelty whatsoever at all. And if I found out animals were being treated cruelly so that shaving products could be used, I would not use those shaving products. That said, animals kept in a humane way and slaughtered for food, and the byproducts used in shaving stuff and tallow and stuff, I have no problem with that at all. Badgers, I'm half and half with badgers. I am. But that's I don't like. Yeah, I probably never. I probably won't buy another badger brush as long as I live. But I got 3. I tried them. I did wrestle with my conscience. But there you go. I think I've covered it in the video. But thanks for listening, guys. I hope you've liked this Sunday Spotlight. I hope it gives you something to think about. And please, if you are on the fence to tallow or not to tallow, I would highly recommend Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, Coke and Butter Formula, or CK6. I think this is the way forward for them all. I really do think that's the way forward. But that's it. Thanks for listening. I'm gonna go. I'm almost at 16 minutes. Please click like, subscribe, leave your comments. Have a wonderful week. It's Sunday now, start of a new day tomorrow, a new week, and on we go. I will see you on Wednesday for the Wednesday shave. Thank you for listening, and as always, thank you for your comments too. Bye bye, guys.